name is Scott with Shoms Photography, and today we're going to go over the reflectors. 5-inch, the 7-inch, the hubcap, the Snub 38, and the Colt 45. Here we have a 600 sitting in front of me, and we're not going to do any meter testing. We are basically looking at the pattern, what these reflectors are going to throw onto this backdrop. So let's start out with a 5-inch reflector, since it's the smallest one out of the bunch. If I can see what's going on in here, because it's very dark. You can see there's not really a major hot spot right here, but our light is going past our backdrop, all the way to the floor, across past the edge of there, and crossed over here. Again, the 5-inch reflector is probably one of the most even reflectors, but it doesn't focus the light compared to the 7-inch reflector. But again, it's a very even light. And this is the standard reflector that comes with the old CL600s. Not the new CL600 because they don't come with one. But again, if I was going to use a reflector for lighting a backdrop, it's going to be the 5-inch compared to the 7-inch. And we'll show you why. So let's go to the 7-inch. So here's our 7-inch. Our pattern, our concentration of light is right here. There is an actual hot spot of that 7-inch reflector is right here. You can see this little silver line, or white line. It actually goes around. There's a spot, spot, spot. And that's from the 7-inch reflector, standard. But you can see that it's not as even as the 5-inch that goes across here. So there's a faster fall off from the center over to here, and we've already did the meter testing, so I don't even have to go over that with this. So let's go to the hubcap. But you can kind of see the difference why I say I would use a 5-inch reflector, because it's more even light. Even with the hubcap, I would use a hubcap over a 7-inch reflector to light a background, because again, I'm getting a more even light. Now, if you want to light a specific round circle, then of course the 7-inch reflector, that's what you want to use, then over the 5-inch or the hubcap. But the hubcap, you can see it's going all the way past this backdrop, and it's already on that wall. The light's spanning over that wall, because it's a wide angle reflector. So it's pushing this light all the way across, and it's nice and even. And again, this is what I use for a fill light out on location. Again, because I shoot a contrasty light. Since I use the Colt 45, I want a contrasty light and I want a contrasty fill as well. Again, if you want a soft light, you're not going to be using hard light reflectors. You're going to use a softbox, umbrellas, stuff like that. Okay, let's take this one off and let's go to the Snub 38. Now our light here is about 7 feet from the backdrop. So here you can see our pattern. It's a lot wider. Well, it's not wider than the hubcap, but it's a lot wider than the Colt 45. So when we get to the Colt 45, you'll understand. But this is our concentration of light is right here right now. Even though the light is higher, so the light actually is right here, where this hand is. But here's the more concentrated light is right down here. And it's just the way the reflector is. But that's always good. But it's nice even light pretty much all the way across from corner to corner of this backdrop. All the way up past the backdrop, down across the floor. It's a nice even light. If you're working within 6 to 8 feet, this guy is just awesome. Especially if you're lighting a group of people. This is going to cover that group of people, because if you got your main one here in the center, or actually I would put one off center and the other person on the other side of off center, and then just start bringing my people. And again, so if I had one here, one here, one here, and one right over here, this is how many people I can get. And then of course you'd have the same distance on the opposite side. So you're going to get a nice wide coverage of a large group, good sized large group. let's go to the Colt 45. Now the difference between the Colt 45 and the Snub 38 is throw. Again, now you can see the pattern of the Colt 45. To get the same spread as the Snub 38, I have to be back further. And again, that's where the Colt 45 shines because it's a long throw reflector. So here's our concentration of light, it's right about here. Again, our light is aiming right here, but it's always, it's because I have it as a tilt. I think that's probably what it is. I don't have it straight. But you can see it hits down here at the bottom of the backdrop, right here, right here, right here. So if I stand in the center, I can reach my hands out and I'm fully illuminated. Again, I can fit less people inside this if I'm lighting a group. So I would have like 1.5 short compared to the Colt or the Snub 38. Again, to get the same pattern, the wider pattern as the Snub 38, I have to be back further with it. And again, that's the difference between the Snub 38 and the Colt 45. The Colt 45 is made for long throwing distance. So I normally want my Colt 45 10 feet, 12 feet back from my subject, and then the Snub 38 is for the 8 to 6 feet away from your subject. Again, they're both great modifiers. I'm going to use them both, but a lot of people want something for weddings and they want to light a larger group of people at a shorter distance and use less power. And that's where the Snub 38 comes into play against the Colt 45. Again, I'm going to step away so you can see the pattern of the Colt 45 on the backdrop. And I'm going to switch it over to the Snub 38 here in just a second. And yeah, my light's at a tilt. It actually should be somewhere right there. That's the reason why my center of light was off. I apologize for that. So there's Colt 45. Let's switch back to the Snub 38. And I'm blinding myself. I'm glad I'm not using the SL100 or else I'd already been blind and I wouldn't be able to see it all because it's just way too bright. I tried using it, I had to go to this one because the SL100 was just way too bright even at the lowest power. If it was in a softbox, I wouldn't have to worry about it because it's diffused, but that light straight into my eyes would kill me with a reflector. Again, you can see with the Snub 38 how much wider spread it is. Again, it's a nice wide reflector, and I didn't change the distance of the light or change the position of the light. It's in the same spot. Again, if you're working with an 8 and even closer, don't get me wrong, 8 feet away and in closer, the Snub 38 is the light modifier you want. If you're using from a long distance, the Colt 45 is the one you want. Again, I would pick up both because they both have their own functionalities. Again, on location, I'm really liking the Snub 38, but then if I'm shooting where I can't get my stand, I have to use the Colt 45 because again, I have to shoot a longer distance, and with that longer distance, I get the more output compared to the Snub 38. Because again, at a closer distance, of course the Snub 38 gives you more power, but at a further distance, the Colt 45 trumps the Snub 38. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, these are the reflectors. If you're lighting a backdrop, again, the 5-inch reflector is amazing. That's the one I would use because it's the most even light out of the from the 7-inch. But if you are lighting just a small circle or a hair light or something like that, then I would use the 7-inch. Again, because I don't want the light spreading as much. So the 7-inch is more focused light than the 5-inch. But if you want a nice wide spread pattern, like I said, when the hubcap, that's great for umbrellas. It's great for filling the room with light. It's because it's like an umbrella. I mean, it's just a big wide spread of light that goes everywhere, like an umbrella. Then you have the Snub 38 that has fills this whole backdrop. You can see it fills the whole backdrop compared to the 7-inch, the 5-inch, and even the Colt 45. So when I throw the Colt 45 on, you knew the pattern was right about here. And it went around. It was wide enough for my hand, so that distance. Hopefully you know what I mean. So again, these are the reflectors. Hopefully this answered your questions. Why there's the Snub 38 and the Colt 45, the 5-inch reflector, the 7-inch reflector, and the hubcap. They all have their own functionalities. They all do their own thing, and pick the ones that best fit your needs. Again, my name is Scott with Shoms Photography, and thank you for watching.